One of the biggest real estate companies recently faced a hurdle. I will share with you whether this is a big news or will it impact the company. The company we're going to talk about is do they still use this tune? Yeah, but it's actually McDonald's, right? And how many of you know that this is a real estate company? Maybe I wouldn't say it's a real estate company, but they have an interesting way of being the real estate industry. Toy company. Yes, I totally agree that McDonald's is, to my wife, is now a toy company. Every time we go there is to buy Happy Meal, right? And then the toys are, I don't know. I buy more toys in McDonald's than I buy toys in Toys R Us. I'm not saying that I like that, but yeah. Is it really Happy Meal? I think I quite a sad meal. To me, it's a sad meal. Happy to the kids, no, I think it's happy to my wife. My kids got anything also will play, and you give them a straw, he also happy. Anyways, why are we talking about McDonald's? Because recently a big thing happened. And the big thing is because Warren Trump, am I talking? Donald Trump, not Warren Trump. Donald Trump, actually, he was having a publicity stunt. And what happens is that he donned on the suit of the apron of a McDonald crew and then started learning how to fry the french fries. And of course, the share price tanked over here where my arrow is. Actually, it's not a lot. But why is there a big drop? You'll find out in a short while. But all in all, when I was reading this news, the reviews of it doesn't seem that good. Or maybe people are like just commenting like netizens do, which is usually comes with a lot of negative emotions in it. It was so bad until that Yelp had to close the reviews during this period of time because a lot of people were like, yeah, such reviews. Right. So if you are interested, you can go to X or you can go online to find out what kind of comments that these people put to give the review for Donald Trump's appearance in Pennsylvania. Okay? But what is the real reason why there is a big drop around, if I'm not wrong, it's like 8 point something percent, right? Some of you type in already. Very good. Okay. Yeah, it is actually the big drop is due to a hygienic issue. A hygienic issue. Why is there a hygienic issue? It's because McDonald's, when they were operating normally, then people started getting sick in US. And then they realized that, oh, these people that are getting sick have something in common. They have all eaten McDonald's quarter pounder. This is not the first time that happened to a food establishment. It's actually, if you look throughout history, even in Singapore, there's also this kind of outbreak. But McDonald's in US is, of course, we are talking about a larger volume of people. So the outbreak tend to be a bit more escalated. And yeah, so since then, what happened is that they are suspecting two culprits, two sources of culprit. Firstly, is the onion, or it could be the beef itself, because beef is known to be one of the main sources of E. coli outbreaks, right? And this is usually when the beef is not well cooked, right? When I was preparing this slide, I don't know why the food science DNA or the interest of me suddenly start coming in and started researching a little bit more so that I can share a little bit more with you guys, right? So yeah, so this E. coli is something that you can find in your fecal matter. So when you go poop, right, it's in our gut. It's normal to be in our gut. It's just that when we ingest it, then it's a different story. So when it comes to E. coli outbreak, it's either you have unsanitary prep work done by the employees, or it could actually be due to fecal matter that is found in your fresh produces, like your fruits and vegetables. And for the fruits and vegetables part, it is harder to detect. It is harder to detect. Okay, so Mei Ling is asking, why is it not on cheese or why is it not on bread? It's because E. coli is actually a heat-sensitive organism, just like humans or like us Singaporeans and Malaysians, right? We don't like the hot. So same thing, E. coli also don't like the hot, right? So when you cook it, you give it heat, right? And high heat, right, it will die. Yeah. So if why not salt and pepper? Salt is testing my food science knowledge. Salt is the right. So if you have cells, if you put your hand in the salt, your hand start to wrinkle because the moisture is getting sucked out. In that sense, if you put in salt, if it's found in salt, the cells, the E. coli bacteria cells will have properly died. And then for pepper do have bacteria on it, but it's not as much because there's not a lot of nutrients on it. But on the other hand, nutrients is usually found in fresh cells, and pepper is dried, right? Your fresh cells is usually found in your vegetables, your meat, and these two. Why is it not in cheese? Cheese is highly processed. They don't want to stuck there. But anyways, these are the two different culprits, sources of culprit. And then because of this reason, when they were still doing testing to find out, hey, where is the real source of E. coli or this bacteria coming from? Is it from the meat or is it from the onion? Since we don't know, right? Okay, no quarter pounder for this period of time. So for a period of time, there wasn't like a quarter pounder, no beef products from McDonald's, no onion products from McDonald's. And so a lot some analysts were saying that, oh shucks, this is going to cost them like a lot of months of like sales until this thing is resolved, right? And then it turns out that this onion, right, they did the testing first and then they found out that the bacteria is not found in the beef. So if it's not found in the beef, where will it be right now? Based on the explanation I gave him, type inside the chat. If it's not in the beef, then where can it be? By the way, am I talking too fast? I felt like I'm talking a bit fast, so I'll do my best to slow down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so it's in the onion. Yes, it's the onion. That is still the most probable location of it. And then they went to research. So they went to find out that, hey, who is the producer or the supplier for McDonald's onion? It turns out to be this farm called Taylor Farms. Yeah, I went to search, it's not listed. Luckily, it's not listed. Yeah, but anyways, because of this reason, it snowballed to other things. Because of this incident, other fast food chains, or because probably they also use the same supplier, they also decided to stop using any onion products. If you see the impact, that is quite wide. I type in the one in the chat. Onion's supposed to kill germs, right? Yes, I would like to think so. That was one of the myths, but of course, when we talk about onion killing the bacteria, maybe we're talking about the juices of it, and it could have been that the bacteria are like found on the surface that is not in contact with the juices, the shiny surface, if you cook. Yeah. So it like 连累 or it like impacted the other fast food chains. I think one of the fast food chains that uses onion one? Besides Burger King, right? Yeah. So in fact, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC, I don't know why KFC is in here, but Burger King all stopped using fresh onions in their products during this period of time until they are clear and certain that the onion is not the source, or the onion is now being provided from another source that is not Taylor Foods and Taylor Farms. So obviously they also mentioned from Yum Ranch, which is your KFC, and your is it Pizza Hut? Yeah, that of abundance of caution. We're just trying to be safe here. It's not that we don't want to offer, it's just for now. Okay. And because even though they have eliminated the beef as the source of bacterial growth, right? That is not 100% sure that it is also from the onion. So what this means is that just to be safe, let's not risk it. Okay, and then I went to research or maybe ask my friend ChatGPT to give me some breakdown of a different kind of foodborne illnesses that happen over the years and what are some of the penalties it has. Because when the share price drops so much, one of it could be due to the revenue being impacted. But one other thing that can have this 8% drop also because the analysts are like factoring in your fines, right? And if you can see the highlighted ones, which three of the most biggest situation where these food companies are actually fined, and one of it was actually Chipotle Mexican Grill, right? How many of you know of this incident one? If you type in a 1, if you don't know, type in a 0. Then I will quickly go through with you like what happened to Chipotle. But yeah. Oh, many never hear before. Okay, long story short, Chipotle Mexican Grill used to have a lot of branches, just like McDonald's, right? It was one of the places that people frequent, and that's why there's so many shops, so many employees. But the thing about Chipotle and McDonald's, they have this difference, right? The Chipotle employees at that point of time, which is between 2015 to 2018, right? They went for food hygiene course, just like all handlers need to go through certain basic or advanced food hygiene course to know what are the things to do and what are the things not to do. But these employees went for this course, know what to do, know what not to do, but still do, just like kids. One of the incidents was that Chipotle has this branch, and then there's this employee that was like not feeling well, right? So this person not feeling well still went to the work because he needs salary, right? Went to the work, not feeling well, and then vomited in the restaurant, in the food establishment. And then Of course, the manager will tell him or her to go home and rest. So go home, okay, that day itself, vomit already, go home. Vomiting is actually one of the worst thing to happen in a person because it's usually when you got big outbreak lah. Yeah, so that's how my son and my wife got stomach flu when we got back from Hong Kong. Yeah, so the person vomited in front of us, and I didn't know it was so volatile until they came home with stomach flu. Yeah. Anyways, this person go home that day itself after vomiting, right? Next day still come to work. Next day, still come to work. How many of you have experienced stomach flu, and roughly how long does it take to recover? You can type inside the chat right now. But for me, my experience after observing my son and my wife, it took them about 4 to 5 days, or some says 2 weeks. The serious one maybe 2 weeks, right? 4 to 5 days to actually recover. And the first few days are when it is the most contagious. So this person came to work, vomit, go home, next day still come, and then of course it spreads lah. And that is just one small incident. Of course, there's other incidents of Chipotle's Mexican Grill where they did some food adulteration, where they did things that they're not supposed to do. But all in all, it accumulated over the years, right? From 2015 to 2018, which you can see is 3 years worth of nonsense of like bad food hygiene, bad food management, safety reasons, right? And then because of all these things, right, it is clear to the body that was judging or was dictating whether this is there should be a fine or not lah. And then it all comes back to poor compliance. Employee training wasn't enough. People don't understand the severity of it, and it became a 25 million. But personally, I don't really like food companies lah. After my bad experience with Tattoo Chef. But that's just one. But all in all, I think that's just one incident. Another bigger incident that happened not in US, but it's actually in South Africa, is this brand called Tiger Brands. Not your Tiger Balm, not your Muscle Up. They are a brand that is big in South Africa. Long story short, they have this Listeria foodborne outbreak. Right, so it's another bacteria. Just take it as that. Right, a lot of people were impacted from it, and for you to get Listeria illness, it's actually quite clear that your storage condition is not the best. Right, what this means is that it's clearly the fault of the food handlers, and you can see that 2017, 2018, right, they actually so-called resolve it, or the thing died down. But when I searched the internet, just 1 month or a few weeks ago, there was a news that popped up saying that the people want to reactivate or reignite this lawsuit. That's why there's like a class action lawsuit that's ongoing right now lah. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So another case was a non-listed company, ice cream, same thing, Listeria, bad storage and hygiene reasons, right? But yeah, they have a fine. When I look through this whole thing, everyone, can you help me type inside the chat right now? What do you think is the likelihood of a fine for McDonald's? Just give me a percentage number based on this table that I've shown you. From 2011 all the way to 2024. It seems every year there's one. 2024, 2023, 2022, 2022, it's 2021, no 2021. Because maybe lockdown. Percentage of McDonald's having a fine is 0%, 40%, no fine. If you can see, right, the chances of a fine is actually quite based on observation. There's not much statistics here. But when I went to think about it, and from the food science perspective, there are usually certain reasons why a company is fined. Firstly, they did something very bad, which results in the company having to pay for a few things lah. This was a story I was talking about, Chipotle paying $25 million. Yeah, anyways, this is just another article talking about how expensive it is to do food recall. But coming back to this slide where we talk about this, the usual practices or like the usual reasons why there's going to be fines is because you did something even though you're not supposed to do, which is the case of Chipotle. But in other cases where there are foodborne outbreaks due to like contaminations, for example, the McDonald's case, right? It could be due to external fecal matter from the agriculture side of things that wasn't well removed, right? The bacteria wasn't well removed, wasn't washed properly, and resulted in this contamination. Right. From this, you can see that this fault of McDonald's. To me, I think it's not McDonald's fault, right? they just happen to be so sway to get a batch of contaminated onions due to certain processing reasons. That's why they had this incident. If that is the case, then the likelihood of a fine is not likely. Also because when this happened, McDonald's straight away faster comply with the regulations. They stop production, they have full recall, they announced, and they did more like self-compliance stuff. And if you see other different companies over the years that have similar incident, right, it's because they have like active food safety management, right? They quickly do recalls, even though it's very costly, but they announce to the world, say that, oh, these products have maybe lead, have melamine, have certain compounds that is harmful to you, your kids, or whatever. And with that, it shows that you are very actively to contain the issue. And that's why there's usually no fines. Fines usually, if there is, right, it comes in the form of lawsuits where the people affected, they hire a lawyer, then they try, then end up, yeah, you have to pay the legal fees. The likelihood is for McDonald's, this case, I think is quite low. And because of that, it does means that this giant's 8% drop is less likely to have a long-term effect. And if you think about it, when this issue happened on the 22nd, until now it's about 29, and they have identified the cause. They have relaunched their product, Quarter Pounder, without, of course, the onion, right? It means that the impact of the sales point of view is quite limited. It's only like maybe 5-6 days, right? And of course, with that 5-6 days, I don't think it really justified the 8% drop. But it's more towards whether there's going to be fine. And if there's no fine, and this is a short-term issue, I think McDonald's share price, when you come back here, right, could potentially mean that, right, it is a good entry point. Of course, after you look through the valuation and stuff. For me, when I saw this news, what's going in my head right now is that I would love to do some short-term trades on it. Tonight, later on, I'm going to look through whether there's any opportunity to do a sell vertical. So I don't really do sell put now. And if you are doing sell put just to get premium, my humble warning is that make sure that you have your capital. Meaning to say, if you are buying, you're doing a sell put on McDonald's at $300, for example. So sell put means that you are promising to buy 100 McDonald's shares, 100 shares of McDonald's at, let's say, $300. $300 times 100 shares, that is a total of how much of capital you need to have saved aside. 30K in USD. So if you want to do sell put, make sure you have this capital, because if not, if things were to go south and if the share price goes down, you have to pay 30K to get 100 shares. Okay, and if you don't have the capital, you'll be taking margins, you'll be borrowing money from your brokerage, and trust me, the interest doesn't make sense, and you shouldn't do it if you're a active investor or short-term trader. Just want to reconfirm, because words have flown to me that some of you are doing options in a very risky manner, and maybe you have been very lucky for the past few while. Just wanted to share that things don't always go your way, so just make sure that you got your back covered. Okay, so this is it on McDonald's side of things. Thank you so much for watching to this video, and I hope that you have enjoyed and learned something from this segment of our weekly Wealth Pulse sharing. We conduct our Wealth Pulse every Tuesdays 8 to 9 p.m. as we deep dive into the latest and biggest market news and what this means to investors. Do remember to like, subscribe, and also share with more of your friends to support us in making investing easy for everyone to follow. Join us in our community through Wealth Pulse, and I have placed the link in the description box below. I will see you online then. Bye bye.